on a new adventure. On a new adventure.
To ensure the lane's free for the Raid King. This is a bit of a shakeup for Febby. Most recently, his most comfy pause fives have all been really sacrificial and healing.
Play hard. Yeah, he's going to go down here, John. Whitemon able to pick up the kill. Xiao Yu unable to do anything to help in it. It kind of goes back to the duo. Like, you expect domination from this duo, but against the Bane, it's already hard enough. And against Savage, he's been unaffected. Whitemon's just held them at bay all laning phase.
You know, Razor's finding decent farm, decent levels coming through. Yoa is going to hit level 6 soon. You've got the Tundra duo at play, but I don't know if they have enough to follow through here.
Oh, Whitemon could be in trouble. Link is going to be there. Kinetic field, way off the mark from Febby. He did not get the glimpse off either, so now the cookie back in. Carl, he lands it onto Yoe and takes him down. Just so darn easy right now, as T1 will go for a bit more. Onto play hard, they'll find a double. And Carl's even got a DD rune waiting for him, John. And can you believe that? Everything going completely perfectly here for T1.
TNC, they're grouped up as 4. They're dedicating their heroes here. They've got level 6 in Febby. They need to find this fight.
Time walk away though, Whitemon, he's going to be there with the Nightmare if necessary, and now the TPs are in from T1. They're ready to force the fight. They've got Chrono up. Savage, he hasn't found it. No, he has. He's got 3 targets in the first Chrono of the game. They'll drop the back wall, but it means absolutely nothing. They just chase them down. Fiends grip out. They've got the Wraith King. They've got everything they could ask for. Like Savage, he doesn't even go back for Young God. Eventually does. The Wraith King is actually running away, but eventually they will pick him up, at least for the first life. And there's your second now with the spear out from Cuckoo. They'll get another kill onto Young God. And TNC will find nothing for their trouble. They've smoked up, they found Young God, and Whitemon just bounces his way over the tree line with the Tumbler's Toy. As Febby, he's going to try and turn now, but you've got the Mortimer's Kisses up. They cannot sustain themselves through this amount of damage as Cuckoo comes in, cleans up again. They'll even just leave play hard. Just leave him be. No need for the next assassin right now as Cuckoo. He'll be chased down Yoe. Want to try and find a trade, but Whitemon is going to put him to sleep. They'll at least get a vacuum wall off onto the POS 5 Bane, but that's about all they've got so far. In fact, Whitemon, he's not dead yet, but does finally go down as Zephyr. He jumps back in. Not sure about that one, but Savage, he's there with the 2-man Chrono now. Turn right back around onto Yoe with a big Sonic Wave onto Playhard and the Razor. It's just clean gameplay, John. It's just too clean. And we'll just walk right away as Zephyr. He'll break the gap, go in, but the cookie's off the mark. Scatterblast won't land either. Meanwhile, Cuckoo, who are we going for? Young God, he'll jump in. Nightmare's there to save Zephyr. He'll walk right out of there, and now Carl's joined in. They've got Febby straight off the bat in the Fiend Trip. They've already found the Wraith King's Smurf line for Carl. He's dropping low. He'll get his BKB up in time, but then he's out of there. Big Sonic Wave though from the Quap, and now Young God's in trouble. He tried to chase down Carl, but it does not work out. A 7k advantage now, as Savage is looking for a bit more. He's still got the Chrono up. He wants to fight, but instead he'll take the dire triangle. TNC, they are on the low ground right now. This could be a bit of a disastrous position for them, and Savage is going to dump in another great Chrono. He found 2 primary targets and the Kisses. They are going to go right in for free. Already found the first life, and now Yoe. He's been caught out by Whitemon. He'll try to run with his BKB up at Savage, and Carl will just chase him down to the ends of the earth. Eventually, he will drop as they continue now. The arena is back up. Zephyr, he does finally end up going down. Young God, in the meantime, is somehow still alive. In fact, they found the Aegis on Savage, but it won't matter. He'll respawn up, no problem, as Young God does finally drop him the second time. And play hard. Oh, he just brought back. He'll be surged away by Xiao Yu. And another unsuccessful team fight here from TNC as T1 done some great targets themselves, and for TNC, they only got Zephyr.
Again, if you get a good vac wall, the static storm on top, you can play. But I think that's going to be their best angle here. Just play high.
Febby. Oh, Febby. Oh, he ends up going down there to Carl. He tried to go for the Glimpse back, but the Lincoln Sphere was already up. He just gets blown up immediately by Carlos. Now a big smoke is there. T1, who have they found? Yoe, he gets caught out right in the BKB. They cannot stop Savage in this chrono. He'll go after play hard, but now the Fiend Grip is up in the arena. Will also be dropped here by T1. Yoe just gets blown apart as they even found Xiao Yu. Young God, he's the only man left, but it's not looking great for him. He'll try to get underneath those T4 towers, but they're not safe either. Savage, he's happy to fight. Coop, or Carl? Carl's blinked in. Static Storm's been dropped, but he's got the BKB up. He's just manning up here. He'll blink right back away, but now Savage is back in, but he rewinds again. Yoe, well, he knows he can't fight. But you've got Aegis up on Savage. There's not really too much to be afraid about. And he won't, but top lane John Zephyr has rotated onto Young God with the Scatter Blast. It's off the mark. Savage, he'll still move in. They've got the chrono up if they need it. But they probably won't, considering how much damage Savage is doing right now. In fact, now the spear round does catch the Disruptor Febby. He's just going to die to the Mortimer's Kisses. And now they've got the Raid King trapped up in the Fiend Grip through the BKB out. Young God is gone. Yoe, he shows up at Savage. He gets another great chrono. Onto two heroes into the arena of Cuckoo. It's just clinical. It is an absolute clinic here as Xiao Yu gets a big vacuum off, but the GG's been called. They have seen enough. And T1, they clean up game number 1 against TNC Predator. And I'll tell you what, John, it wasn't even close.
It really wasn't.
Cuckoo does begin to get very aggressive with the Whirling Death. It's one of those things, you leave Young God alone, he is not going to be able to sustain himself in this lane. Especially while Cuckoo is at level 4 now. In the meantime, though, top lane, they've made the jump in onto the Io now, so Febby is going to be in trouble, does immediately go down. Xiao Yu, he is at least going to try and trade here with Zephyr, but it's not looking great for him. He'll have to go for a run, does try with the Swashbuckle, but in the end, Zephyr's fine. In fact, they'll keep up the chase now with the Cursed Crown out. Xiao Yu, he doesn't really have a great way out. But try to walk into that T1 tower, but the chase is going to continue as now the Brambles does lock him down. He'll try to eat a Fairy Fire. Whitemon, how far do you want to go? Not far enough for the Ignite. Will be more than enough for the Ogre. No problem here for T1. In the meantime, mid lane, they were trying to make a play onto Carl. At least for now, he is just fine. So you see Yoe just continuing to persistently hit that tier 1 mid, but top lane, Xiao Yu going to be in a bit of danger as the Swashbuckle is away, but Savage is on the chase, and now the Brambles will lock him down. Xiao Yu, again, between a rock and a hard place, is not going to be able to get himself out. In the meantime, though, mid lane again, they'll make the jump in onto Carl, but he's going to survive. In fact, now Cuckoo, he does rotate in a nice arena. Carl's right on target, and Cuckoo, he'll just shred through the DK. No issues here at all. They trust Cuckoo to get the job done. Tips out from Carl, and well, Yoe, he tried, but a bit of wishful thinking there to try and go after that Mars. Now mid tier 1, getting very unhealthy now. Cuckoo, he'll be forced to rotate as Yoe tries to move back in. They do get the stun off. Rolling Thunder's going to be there. They'll commit onto Carl. They've got the Rolling Thunder. They've got the stuns off, but can they get the kill? Carl, he is still alive. He finally gets the arena down just in the nick of time. And Febby now, he's trapped up with Yoe. Yoe, he might just run away and leave the Io to die, but he is so darn low at the moment as Febby's gone. And now the Chakram just barely landing from Cuckoo. They'll move on to Xiao Yu. Tips out from the grave from Carl. And nothing works out here. For TNC, they are just trying to get themselves out. But Savage is joined on that Morphling. They'll go after the Pango, they'll secure the kill. The Young God, he is trying to at least get a support for their trouble, but he's not even going to find that as play hard. He'll be another one to drop. Xiao Yu looking to move up to that high ground. Savage, he's around. Whitemon, he'll break the smoke. Infest immediately out onto the Pango. Cuckoo just kind of baiting with the chains in as now they jump in. Xiao Yu forces the BKB out from Carl. No, Yoe, he's been caught out immediately. They don't want him to die like this, but he's gone. Just so darn quick that they'll try and turn onto Savage with the main control out from that Rolling Thunder from Xiao Yu, but nobody's dying. Absolutely nobody going down here from T1 as now they get the spear out. Savage, he'll keep chasing down Febby and Young God. So they'll go towards the south. They want the bigger targets, but towards the north, they've got Xiao Yu. That'll be your Pango gone. In fact, Young God, he'll try for the Rage TP out. He's gonna make it.
The triangle's just taken control by T1, and outer mid tier 2 is going to be fresh. They need to fight against this.
Oh, they're gonna try and force a fight right now onto that Willow, and they've got him. Zephyr immediately down as now Savage will rage up initially with that lifestealer form, goes back in onto Young God. The rage is there, Young God, but now he's fine. In the meantime, towards the south, Cuckoo dropping very low on that timber, still dropping low, needs a way out, but will change towards the north as now Young God. He needs his own way out. He'll barely get the infest off onto Yoa as Savage is still playing with his HP. But Carl, he's been left behind on that mask, but it won't matter. He's a tanky target himself. He'll get down Xiao Yu as Young God continues the chase, but can't get the job done. Back in on the Cuckoo. They are still trying to kill this Timbersaw off, but he has the Yule Scepter available. Jukes out the stun, but eventually does end up going down. Now T1, not feeling too confident to stick around, will have to leave Whitemon behind. And I'd say that's a pretty successful team fight from TNC. Oh. Look around, Febby is going to get caught out, or does he? Spear, not going to land yet, but there it is. The IO, automatically gone as Young God is now chased down here by Savage. Yoe, he's going to try and jump in. In fact, Xiao Yu's there and Febby's fought back. They will go for the team fight. They will at least find 2 supports for their trouble. Do you kill Febby? You force supply back, but they get 2 supports anyway. In fact, they're going for more now. Savage has been caught out. He'll try to rage and walk away, but Cuckoo, he'll jump in. They're going to try and force the fight. Savage immediately gets the dieback onto Febby. Xiao Yu now, very, very low, but should be just fine as Young God. He'll try to go back in. Who are we aiming? It is going to be Carl on that Mars. But Carl, he'll get the spear off. Still armor toggling, still trying to survive, just barely alive in fact, because now he's still getting out of there. Carl, how do you not die throughout all this? Young God finally takes him down, but it does cost them quite a bit. These armor toggles from Carl's been a real problem here for TNC.
That was an awkward play. They smoke out, they drop the ward under its sentry obs. So T1 immediately knows there's a smoke play, and they hold a high ground here in the bot jungle.
Be very, very bad times here for TNC as Playhard gonna have his smoke broken. Xiao Yu thinking about the Rolling Thunder, but he's been silenced up. Goes to make the jump in onto Savage. He is not strength morphing at the moment, but it won't matter. He is still alive as Xiao Yu's the one to drop. The Cursed Crown now is gonna be out onto Young God, who has no rage available, so Savage, he'll get right to work. That'll be Young God gone. That'll be Febby gone. Savage, he just plays on the edge with his HP. He had the Aegis up the whole time anyway. And force a defense, but now the D4s are going to come out. Savage, he wants a Young God buyback, but there isn't one available. So he's going to know to just go right after that Ancient. There's not really much to be afraid of here for the Smurfling as they make the jump in. Yoe, he's going to be alright for now, but Xiao Yu, he'll Rolling Thunder away. Savage, he's just trying to focus down the Ancient. They've at least got the Aegis gone. They're onto that Dragon Knight now. Just such a long stun duration. He cannot move, and Yoe, he's gone. He'll buy back. He'll try. With Young God up now, they might be able to fight back. Factorina is down. They've got Xiao Yu again on the Pango. Infest to try and save. Relocate out. They have managed to save Xiao Yu's life, but can they save Yoe? Not quite. It's a dieback immediately. The GG's been called. They have fountain diving them in this game number 2. T1. It was a much closer matchup, John, but I'd still say a very confident victory here for T1 as TNC. It does seem like they are improving game by game, but a pretty tough matchup against T1.